Just in case you were thinking that last night's quarterfinal produced the most outrageous show jumping that you've ever seen, let today's semi-final step into play and deliver some more crazy storylines, ridiculous scores, and of course some outstanding show jumping as well that has been witnessed today here in the O2 Arena in Prague, as we now officially have our Super Cup final lineup that will now be decided on Friday evening here in Prague. Let's remind you as to who now steps away from the competition, who falls away and will play no further part in the GCL Super Cup. Half the field being cut today. A major shock. The Shanghai Swans falling away. Scandinavian Vikings first to go fall away. Stockholm Hearts, much like last year again, jump the semi and crash out of the semi. Istanbul Warriors, Riyadh Blue, and the Monaco Aces, I'm afraid one step too far for them to make it into the GCL Super Cup final. But there was one team that stood out more than any. There was one team that was better than the rest, and that is the outstanding performance of Madrid in Motion, as I'm joined by the team, Mark McCauley, of course, Jack Whittaker, and Mr. Michael van der Vleuten. Thank you, guys. Can we start with some reaction, Michael? Outstanding performance from the team, wonderful response. How are you feeling after that?
Okay, to be standing here with us, with the team, it was a fantastic performance today. I think everybody could see how tricky the course was, how tough it was. The horses had to jump fantastic today, and the riders had to ride very well. And I must say, we all three, I think the horses looked in very good shape. It was a fantastic performance today, so we can look good forward to Sunday.
Jack, there was a lot of comments around the quarterfinal, maybe being a little too big, too soon. Fears around today getting even bigger and better. What was your thought on the class?
Yeah, it was very tough, I thought. When we walked it, we all said it was very big. It was just what it's how they build nowadays. Definitely, when you come here every year, it's the same. It's always so big, and you have to be really on the ball when you get in there. But thank God we got these two guys on the team to pull some clear rounds out, so we're all okay.
Mark, was that easily for you one of the best rounds that you've jumped in recent times? It looked to us, without a doubt, the round of the night, but you made it look so simple that there seemed to be no trouble for you whatsoever. Just take us through the thoughts of what was going through your mind during that round.
Yeah, it was just, I think it was just one of those rounds where I kind of hit every jump the way I wanted to, and
it looked so effortless.
You have those rounds, and then the mare was giving everything, so I could ride confidently. I didn't have to worry about doing too much myself. I just had to concentrate on my plan and stick to it, and she gave me a great feeling today. So really looking forward to Sunday.
Not only was the clear outstanding, but to open up with the clear, what does that then do for the next two riders to follow?
Oh, sure, it puts a bit more pressure on them.
Yeah? I think it might open it up, no?
But these guys can handle the pressure, so it was no problem.
Jack, talk to me about that double of uprights. 8AB seemed to be very tricky today. The approach seemed to catch out a lot. How tricky was that?
Yeah, well, it was just a very flat 4, wasn't it? Or a very short 5, and I chose 5 personally. My horse, she's better when I've got her in my hand instead of trying to chase to find the strides, and I think it was just... I didn't feel like I got the 5 perfect, to be honest, but she tried to get out of the way of it, so it was just a very tricky part of the course, probably one of the trickiest.
Michael, what happens on Sunday now? Very excited to see Beauville come out tonight. Looked very good, as we would always imagine from such an outstanding athlete. We know there's an LGCT Super Grand Prix for you to jump tomorrow. Can you cast your eye onto Sunday? What happens with a busy night tonight for Beauville? Tomorrow Grand Prix. Is there an idea as to what is the play for Sunday?
Yeah, it's still a tough decision I need to make now. In the next hour, we're gonna sit down together with the team and my father, and we try to make a decision. Of course, I want to give a good result for Sunday for the team, but tomorrow it's also a big happening. My other horse, O'Bailey, jumped actually very well, but I cannot guarantee as much that clear round than I can do with Beauville. So yeah, let's see.
Is the temptation to jump Beauville on Sunday, knowing that you have O'Bailey in the stables? Is the temptation to bring Beauville out again? Is it possible?
Actually not.
It's tricky, yeah?
To be fair to the horses, it's already quite tough for them. So I have to choose, or we're gonna bring him out tomorrow, or we bring him for the team on Sunday, but I'm going to make the decision soon.
Yeah. Mark, qualifying for the final, massive achievement. The team has history in this competition, previous winners as well. To come out the gate as the last team on Sunday, is it as big an advantage perhaps as it's made out to be?
I definitely think it's an advantage to be going last. Of course it is. But yeah, look, hopefully our horses show the same form again on Sunday that they did today, and then I think we can be quite hard to beat. So yeah, we're looking forward to it.
And Jack, you and I had a bit of a chat and a bit of a joke in London where we spoke about the posters being outside, but it feels like it's been a really big year that is climaxing and culminating at a perfect time for you and for Madrid Emotion, for you as a young man in this team, riding alongside these great guys, to be in a GCL Super Cup final. What will it mean for you to go on and get over the line on Sunday?
Yeah, no, it's fantastic. I can't thank these guys enough for giving the opportunity, and thank God they're here. If them two didn't pull clear rounds out, we might not have been there today. So we just look to Sunday now and try and win again. We go in the ring trying to clear rounds every time. So just hopefully I can have two less down, and these guys can stay the same.
All right, Jack, Mark, Michael, thank you very much. Well done. Madrid Emotion, absolutely outstanding. I'm sure the owners are very, very delighted as well, and very excited for the final on Friday or on Sunday. That will be the big celebration. Madrid Emotion, the best performing team in the GCL Super Cup semi-final, will be the final team out the gate and can put the cherry on the cake on Sunday with yet another victory in the GCL Super Cup, as they did back in 2018. We'll take a break. When we come back, more reaction from tonight's semi-final.
Elegance is an attitude. Of course it is. Elegance is an attitude. Of course it is.
Welcome back to GCTV and welcome back to the O2 Arena here in Prague as we continue looking back on a rather outrageous GCL Super Cup semi-final. Frederick de Back is standing by for us, still inside his commentary seat, and I wonder if he may have indeed just caught his breath just yet. Frederick, it's your job, it is my job to be able to talk, to comment, and being left speechless generally is not a good sign. But if there was ever a day of show jumping to be left completely speechless, that was tonight. We thought the quarterfinal produced some rather outrageous numbers. Let's talk about the outrageous numbers that we saw tonight. My word, Frederick, what a semi-final we witnessed here in Prague.
Most remarkable, Mark. It's a story of two sides because I've seen some incredibly good rounds. I've seen perfection, maybe even from Mark McCauley. On the other side, we've seen teams eliminated, teams struggling. So. This was really, and it's always a little bit like that, of course, in the semi-final. This was the season, or the stage, where the boys were separated from the men, if I'm allowed to say that. So we've seen real quality riding and real quality jumping, but we've also seen teams really, really struggling with high scores, and we've seen surprises. There is no doubt about that.
Absolutely. Let's talk about two of the surprises. One being the Stockholm Hearts, who once again failed to get out of a semi-final, much like in 2022. But surely, Frederick, the big shock of the night needs to go down to that one single round of Daniel Deusser that ends up costing the Shanghai Swans a spot in the final, a major, major favorite cork crashing out tonight, Frederick. What about that?
Yeah, the cork was already out of the bottle. The owners were already celebrating 4 and clear. That surely it must have been good enough. And I would say the very same, thinking then that Daniel Dorser is to come in next with Scuderia 1918 Tobago's that winners of the Super Grand Prix, of course, last year here in this very same arena. But clearly, Tobago not feeling super comfortable. You saw already in the longing double combination with his right hand using the stick, the whip, just to get Tobago a little bit forward. And then he started backing off. Dorser had to ride strong. Tobago hit the brakes, was a little bit uncertain. And then it all came undone with other jumping faults, with penalties, with time penalties. And in the end, they don't make the cuts. Prague Lions are in on 28 and... Shanghai don't make it on 29, and that ends a horrible season for that team.
And Frederick, Falkensrud United would have been devastated at the start of the evening, thinking perhaps that their night is soon to be over. And much like we thought they scraped through in the quarterfinal, they now somehow scraped through from the semi, but they keep this wonderful record alive of once again approaching a GCL Super Cup final. But surely, again, from their perspective, an incredibly unlikely progression to Sunday.
Yeah, it's most remarkable. Second team to go. They had to wait quite a bit before they were in the end qualified for the big final. But 8 from Stargold, that very hard fault at fence 1, so uncharacteristic. Gilles Thomas, Luna van der Dennehoff, 8 penalties, and also 8 for John Whittaker with Equine America, Unique de Framport. At that point we had spoken so often already about the cutoff score, the average being normally around 12. It was 8 and 8 in 2018 and 2019. It was 20 penalties in 2022 and 2021. But now it's actually 28, Mark. That's 20 penalties more than it was in 18 and 19.
Unbelievable. And again, just shows you how things change year to year, and they will be delighted to be in the final and once again give themselves a shot at going on to win a GCL Super Cup on Sunday night. Madrid Emotion, Paris Panthers, Razorback International, the top 3 of the year, all looking very good despite some difficulty for Philipp Weishaupt towards the end there. It was already in the bag, dare I say that, because of the outcome of Shanghai Swans, but it was a great performance and a great advert for the top 3 in the season. Frederick, Madrid, all of a sudden, perhaps people not really putting a major spotlight on, with Shanghai Swans falling away, with perhaps some questions around Razorback International. Does this perhaps put the spotlight on Madrid Emotion? Are they now as the last team to go? And the form we see of Mark Macaulay, for example, are they favourites on Sunday?
And it's not just the form of Mark Macaulay. To answer your question, you have to say yes. That may be joint favourites with Paris Panthers, but then you have to say that there's quite a gap. You know, there's an 8 penalty gap with Saint-Tropez Pirates. But yes, those teams have to be the favourites. But keep in mind that it was a clear from Beauville, it was a clear from Macaulay on a Duress Lady Amado. What a development that mare was. That was, and I shouldn't say, but that was poetry in motion, Mark. It's been a while since I've seen beauty like that in show jumping. It was a brilliant round. But also Jack Whittaker, because he now sits there on that team with those 8 penalties. Whittaker Rhodes also very close to perfection, and then in the end he got penalized on the last 2 fences. But also his round was planned, was executed, was controlled. The horse jumped really well. So yes, that team is truly a favorite, and it is the 2018 scenario. It is a scenario where they in 2018 won the semi-final, were the last team to go in round 1, kept the lead after round 1, last team to go in round 2, and won the very first Super Cup. It could happen again.
And once again, remarkably, 3 of the quarterfinalists get into the final. Did we not talk about this yesterday? Quite remarkable indeed, and we will bring that up, I have no doubt, on Sunday as we take a look at the final starting lineup for that GCL Super Cup final. Frederick de Backer, you've been outstanding in commentary. Thank you very much. You have a good night. We'll see you back again tomorrow for the LGCT Super Grand Prix as we relieve Frederick and say thank you very much. Let's quickly take a look at some of those top performing teams. Paris Panthers in particular. Gregory Watley, first to come out for the Paris Panthers, was coming home on 4, but there was still an opportunity for the Paris Panthers to keep things very calm. The fault going down for Gregory Watley and James Bondahay, but it was not enough to unsettle Watley. It was not enough to unsettle the Paris Panthers, knowing that Harry Smulders and Eurikas and Ben Meyer and Feltic HB were to follow. It was appreciated by the audience, appreciated by those in attendance, and Gregory Watley, at the time, knowing the high penalty count to get into the final, will not have felt too bad, I imagine, about the 4. Harry Smolders and Urikas, again, such a wonderful clear rate throughout the round. And that very, very, very light fault there again, being overlooked by Jir Freeling, being overlooked by Rob Hoekstra. Understandably, Harry, not the performance that he will want because of his high standards, but in the context of the night, that 4 was enough then to keep Paris Panthers on track. And then in true Ben Mayer style, in true Ben Mayer class, Celtic HB delivering the clear, and with that securing passage into the GCL Super Cup final for the Paris Panthers. We caught up with manager Rob Hoekstra about their progression to Sunday's final.
I have to say, the team is in great form, Rob.
Yeah, unbelievable. I mean, they rode so well. We made a really careful plan, obviously seeing all the others go. Horses jumped great and the guys rode unbelievable. I mean, yeah, they're on good form.
Into the final you go.
Yeah, well, let's see what happens.
Well done.
Thank you.
Short and sweet from Rob Hoekstra commenting on their progression into the finals. Saint-Tropez Pirates as well, very, very early to go today. In fact, 3rd team out the gate. And after watching, I beg your pardon, the Scandinavian Vikings come out on 32, Falcons-White United come home then on 24. They knew that there was room for error. Malon Zanatelli, first man out the gate for the Saint-Tropez Pirates, coming home and just a score of 4 on Grand Slam. A good start knowing that there was indeed a high penalty count. Gerrit Nieberg coming home on 8, getting a little bit tricky. And of course, Simon de Lestre on 4, leaving the team on 16. Let's hear from Malon Zanatelli.
Marlon, that is the first time that Saint-Tropez Pirates are into the final. How are you feeling?
Very happy, very pleased with the horses and our teammates. They did a fantastic job. So we're very, very happy to be here now.
You came into the team today, you jumped for them, and you only got 4 penalties. Today, that was pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, it was a strong result. I'm very happy the way Grand Slam jumped. It gave me such an amazing feeling there inside. He has been jumping here in Prague very good every year I bring him. So today was very nice to be able to perform for the team.
We saw so many problems today. What was so tricky about this course?
It was very tricky. I mean, it started very nice, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then everything starts to come very, very fast. And with the lines being related, not only with the strides, but with the band and everything, put the horses a little bit in difficulties. You really needed to have an experienced horse, and that you, as a rider, really need to know what was best for your horse.
Well, it's only going to get harder into the final. What are your tactics?
Yeah, I think just keep doing what we're doing. The horses are improving, jumping this weekend. Everybody's jumping better and better, so just try to keep the momentum.
Well done.
Thank you.
Smile on the face of Malon Zanatelli. Saint-Tropez Pirates doing the business and getting themselves into a GCL Super Cup final, the first in the franchise's history. But the crowd here at the O2 Arena, with every single seat being filled, chanting for the Prague Lions, wanting, along with Anna Kellerova, for FMS, Fernando Martinez Soma, for Niels Bruinsius, for Peter de Vos to get over the line. And despite 28 penalties for the team, because of what followed later, it proved to be enough to get them into that final. Crucially for the home team, for the energy, for the excitement, for the noise level inside the arena, the home team qualify and will be in Sunday's final. Here are the thoughts of Niels Bruinsius.
Niels, what a day for the Prague Lions, but for you on a personal level, the first clear of the evening as well. What was the atmosphere in there like?
Yeah, it gave me actually an unbelievable feeling. Fernando was unlucky. I feel really sorry for him. We thought first, that it was not possible anymore, but before I came in the ring, the crowd pushed me to an unbelievable performance. I have to thank my horse. He was great today. Peter did also a fantastic job. So we are really happy that we can give the crowd something back on Sunday.
The final is going to be quite something for you guys with a home crowd. What are the tactics going into that for you?
I think a little party this evening and tomorrow, little conversation about it.
I think you deserve the party. Well done.
Yeah, thank you very much.
And I absolutely love that admission from Niels Brunshiels that there needs to be a little party tonight before Sunday's final, because they have worked so hard to get to this point. And now, under the pressure, under the weight of expectation, finally the Prague Lions, powered by the Czech equestrian team, go on and deliver the goods and make their way into the final. Let's remind you then, before we close, to summarize what took place tonight. Who is in and who is out, who falls away and who then moves to Sunday's final. This is who is out, who falls out. We spoke about the extreme difficulty of the semi-final, with half the field being cut. And what a shock for the Shanghai Swans, Scandinavian Vikings and the Stockholm Hearts, again falling out in the first round. They compete much like last year. Istanbul Warriors, Riyadh Blue and the Monaco Aces eliminated from the 2023 Prague playoffs. And that means that there are only 6 teams remaining. There are only 6 finalists remaining that will now come out on Sunday for the GCL Super Cup final. And these are your 6 finalists that we will watch at the end of the weekend. These are the teams that are in the final. Madrid Emotion, Paris Panthers and the Riesenbach International, 1, 2 and 3 in the overall championship standings, all in the final. They will be there alongside the Prague Lions, Falkenswart United and the Saint-Tropez Pirates. Those 6 teams will be competing for Sunday's big prize. We say goodnight and thank you from the O2 Arena in Prague. Don't forget, there is an enormous LGCT Super Grand Prix to come tomorrow, and we'll chat all about that in the next 24 hours. Until then, get some rest. We'll see you tomorrow for the Super Grand Prix and then return for the Super Cup final on Sunday. Good night.